So this is issue 33, and I've said this before, but I think this actually does highlight how well thought out this build is. If you remember in the last issue, we actually built this piece of the arm, and I had to stop and think whether it was this piece we needed or this one. And the way we identified that it was this piece was because of this piece that hadn't been included. And what they'd actually done is we built this piece up, and then we turned to this piece and we assumed that it was going to be built up to the same stage as this, but no, they stopped. And then we put this onto the arm, and now as soon as we've attached this, we've gone back to this bit. So we are actually building this up, but because of the lack of this piece, it made it more easy to identify, which I think is a little bit clever. Not Einstein status, but I think it was clever. So these are the parts for issue 33. I have already put my screws in the little pot, PM 3x6mm, and we will also need this part that we haven't finished yet, and we will need a crosshead screwdriver and some super glue. So let's begin with removing the parts from the sprue. I think you all know where I'm going on this one because we have done it in a previous issue. So a nice pair of side cutters, and we'll cut that as close as we can. And I'd like to say we just need to file, well, this one's actually worked out okay, apart from that little bit there. But obviously you could file this just to make those a little bit flat, but you can see you do get two little marks if you're not careful. So this is the last piece, and this has got a little flat end, so it does cut straight across there. Yes, and right, so what we will need then next is our glue, and what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two together, and you can see there's little marks going across there, and there's little recesses in there, and that will go in like so. So let's get a big dollop of glue, and we'll pop it onto our waste plastic. And every time I use this glue, I'm picking off bits. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to focus the glue around the edge there. You see there's a little ledge in there. I'm just going to focus a little bit in there, and then I'm going to focus a little bit more just on the top of those indents. Do we call them indents? And then we place this piece. Because of the nature of this part being quite small, I'm actually going to bring the glued part to the part that's going on like so, and I'm just going to push that in, do our usual count to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll use the other end of the cocktail stick. That's gone in beautiful. That's really nice. I'm really happy with that. So the next stage is that we want to attach this, and we need to get the orientation correct. So in the magazine, the part is held like this, with the flap, the shoulder flap at the bottom, and then the pointy parts of this part is going to be facing towards us, and that's going to go on like that. So that's the test fit done. So it's hard to find a place to position it, so I'll get my brush glue, and I'm just going to paint along the top. I'm not going to go all the way down, and the reason for that, you see where I've glued, the glue will naturally get pushed down, but I haven't put enough glue on that it's going to ooze out at the bottom, and we'll see if that works. 3, 4, 5, and that has not worked. So that's fine, we can always add, but it's harder to take away. So we just really need to find where most of the point of contact is. So I've got a little bit thinner, but a little bit further down. And I think, there we go. So 3, 4, 5, and that's done the job. That has done the job. So this is the point where I panic now and think, did I do it the wrong way round? No, I did not do it the wrong way round. So these little sticky out bits are on this side. So that's that bit done. So next we're going to need part 2 and part 5, and that is very, very similar. Was it 2 issues ago we did this, and we're just going to pop that onto there as a test fit. And did that not fit, or did I have it wrong? I had it wrong. So that's the test fit complete, and that now doesn't want to come out. There we go. So same as before. Yeah, I think this is coming to the end of its life. So I'm going to put a reasonable dollop on the actual pegs, and then not quite so much, but a little dollop in the middle. What I don't want is it all spreading out around the sides, and then we will line that up as best we can, and that will go into place like that. Hold it, 3, 4, 5, and yeah, that's not coming out. I think the nature of these parts, they're actually going to be pushed in anyway. Obviously something's going to clamp it in, but obviously we don't want it falling out beforehand. So that is part step 7 done as well. Now step 8, I think we've seen this on the previous episode, which is we're going to attach that part to that. So we're going to need 2 screws, 2 PM 3x6mm screws, and I still haven't had a chance to magnetize my screwdriver yet. I did used to have a magnetizer. So we have a little what would you call that? I want to call it a recess, but not a recess, but it's a tell me the word, I can't remember it. And then we've got a recess there to match, and that's just going to go in like that. And that's quite interesting, because there's no recess on this side. It is actually free to rotate. So because I have no magnetizer, I have to put the screws in myself, because the screwdriver won't hold them. So we'll screw that one in just enough to bite, which that's bitten, and then we pop the second screw in, and look how easy that is to go in. That's amazing. So I'm doing a screwdriver review at the same time as I'm doing a part, but I'm very, very happy. And that's gone in. The only trouble is it does go in really hard, but you can't feel how hard it's going in. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my Aurea, and I'm going to see if I can screw it in any harder. Because if I can, and I know that screwdriver, oh, I can actually screw it in harder. That's interesting. Right. So that is in really solid now. So, right, so that leaves us with, I think I'm sure there's another stage. No, that is actually it. So that is the end of the stage. This is a part that's left over. This will be used in the next stage, and then obviously we've got this part. So yeah, that's it. That's some really short issues now, but it is starting to build up. I mean, we've just got a little bit of accessory there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to what's coming next. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next episode.